So now let us see on how we can be able to solve the equations with actually a fraction powers or the fractional exponents. Let's say we have x to the power 4 over 3 and plus, let's say we have 3x to the power, let's say 2 over 3 and minus 28 is equal to 0. So now how should we be able to solve for this in this case? So now looking at the powers that we are having, this is 4 over 3 and this is 2 over 3. So let's bring these powers down. We have 4 over 3 and we have 2 over 3. So now looking at the powers, what is the common actually denominator? It should be a common factor and for the 2 powers, as you can see. So you should have to understand that having 2 over 3, you know, it is the same as having 2 times 2 divided by 3. And while having 2 over 3, it is the same as 2 over 3 as well. So which means having 2 over 3, it is the same as having it as, in this case, it is the same as having it as 2 over 3 times 2. So now you can see that we have expressed 2 over 3 to have the same actually content as this one is, and which is the same as 2 over 3 times 2, and that is basically for that. So in this case, we are going to express the power 2 over 3 to be in this way. So have it as x to the power 2 over 3 and times 2 and plus 3x to the power 2 over 3 minus 28 is equal to 0. So at the end of the day, using the laws of indices, if we have a to the power b times x, it is the same as, let's say, a to the power b, and let's say to the power times x in that way. So that is the same as that. So if this is the case, then what I'm going to have is, we'll have it as x to the power 2 over 3 and it times actually 2 and the plus 3 to the power x, actually 3 times x to the power 2 over 3, in that case minus 2x, that which is equal to 0. So since these terms are the same, then we may think of writing them to be the certain unknown variable, let's say given as x to the power 2 over 3 is equal to m. Now in this case we'll have it as, and that should be m to the power 2 and the plus 3m minus 28 is equal to 0. Now what we have, it's a quadratic equation. And let's think of solving for m in that way. Would it be possible to solve using the factor method? And of which it will. So which means we'll have it as m squared and the plus should be 7m minus 4m minus 28 is equal to 0. So have it as m plus 7 minus 4 m plus 7 is equal to 0. So in this case we'll have m plus 7 the times m minus 4, which is equal to 0. Then what we're going to have is we'll have it in this case. So which means we'll have m is equal to negative 7 and the m is equal to 2. But what we're looking for, it is the value of x. So we'll come back to, now we'll come back to this. So which means we'll have it as x to the power 2 over 3 and let's say using the first actual value, negative 7. So which means we'll have negative 7 that way. Now how should you solve for x? So mind you, having this one, it is the same as having it as a cube root of x to the power 2 is equal to negative 7. Mind you, according to the laws of indices, if we have x to the power m over n, this is the same as the nth root of x to the power m. So remember about the laws of instance in that way. So now we'll have to introduce power 3 both sides. So which means we'll have x squared is equal to, now what is negative 7 to the power 3? And we'll have it as negative, that is 3, 4, 3. Then we'll have to introduce squared both sides, so which is x is equal to, now there's no square root of a negative number, therefore it is undefined. So it is given as undefined. There's no real solution for this. Then we'll go for the another value of, actually we'll go for the another value which is given as, no, should be, now we'll go for the other value, x to the power 2 over 3 is equal to, let's say, should be 2. Now we'll have it in the same way. We'll have it as the cube root of, now x squared, which is equal to 2. Then we'll have to introduce cube both sides. That will be given as, that will have x squared is equal to, let's say, now 8. We'll have to introduce square both sides. We'll have it as x is equal to plus or minus, now the cube root of, and that should be 8. And of which, using the sides, this is the same as, now should be 2, should be plus or minus 2 square root of 2. So which means we have x is equal to positive 2 root 2, and we also have x is equal to negative 2 root 2. So these are the solutions for that. And how about if we have this case as well? Now let's say we have x squared, let's say to the power 2 over 3, and let's say minus x to the power, let's say 1 over 3, and is equal to 1. And of course this is the same as x to the power 1 over 3, and that times 2, okay, times 2. Using the same way we did it before, x to the power 1 over 2, like that, and I will have it as minus 1 is equal to 0 upon having this one to the other side. So we should have to let that one, x to the power 1 over 3, as m. So have m to the power 2 minus m minus 1 is equal to 0. Now try to solve for actually m, and do it in the same way as we did it before. So of course you're going to use the quadratic formula there. It will work. And how about if we have this? Let's say have x to the power, let's say, negative 2 over 3, and minus, let's say, x to the power, let's say, negative 1 over 3, and is equal to 1. Now using the same principle, we'll have x to the power negative 1 over 3, and times 2 minus x to the power negative 1 over 3. In that case, and the minus 1 is equal to 0. Having m as being given as x to the power negative 1 over 3, now it is the same as m to the power 2, and the minus m minus 1, that which is equal to 0. And again, to solve for m using the quadratic formula, then you equate that to this, and I'll be able to solve for actually x. But let me just have to keep this one in touch. I think I just have to help you in this. Otherwise, you should have to do this at your own time. Anyway, let's try this. Using the quadratic formula, I'll have m is equal to plus or minus the square of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. That should be m is equal to negative b, by the way. So in this case, we'll have it as m is equal to, what is the b? We have negative 1 here, so which means will be positive 1 with this negative, that is for b, and the plus or minus the square of, now we have 1 and plus 2, should be plus 4, because we have a being given as 1 and we have c being given as the negative 1, and with this negative will be given as the plus, which is divided by 2. Then what will go up next? Let's keep this on safe. Then what it means is that we'll have m is equal to 1 plus or minus the square of 5, let's say, over 2. So this currently means is that we'll have m is equal to 1 plus the square of 5 over 2, and we also have m is equal to 1 minus the square of 5 over 2. Then I'll come back to the point where we'll have, having it as 1 minus square of 5 over 2 is equal to x to the power negative 1 over 3. So that will be given as that. And now, using the laws of indices, you should have to understand that having m to the power negative n, it is the same as that of 1 over m to the power n. Likewise, if we have, let's say, m to the power negative x over, let's say, n, it is the same as having 1 over m to the power x over n. So that's the principle we should have to apply here. So now in this case we'll have it as 1 minus square root of 5 over 2, which is equal to 1 over x to the power 1 over 3. And across multiplication we'll have it as 2 is equal to, now have x to the power 1 over 3, and minus square root of 5, and that is x to the power 1 over 3. That will be given as that in that case. Then what will go up next? Now what happens is that we'll have it as, now we can be able to factor out x to the power 1 over 3, so which means we'll have it as x to the power 1 over 3, and in that way you have 1 minus square root of 5, which is equal to 2. Then we should have it as x to the power 1 over 3, which is equal to 2 divided by 1 minus the square root of 5. Then having this, it is the same as the cube root of x, which is equal to 2 divided by 1 minus the square root of 5, where you have to introduce cube both sides in that way. And of course this is the same as, we'll have it as 2 over 1 minus square root of 5 and over 2 to the power 3. And also do the same with the other value of m, and you'll be able to solve for x in that way. So that's the working principle behind that, as you can see. Now at your own time, try to have this as well. Let's say we have, that should be, let's say we have 2x to the power 4 over 3 and minus x to the power 2 over 3 minus 6 is equal to 0. Now try to have the solution for this, and also try to have the solution of this one. Let's say we have 9 x to the power 4 over 3 and the minus 10 to the power x should be 10x to the power 2 over 3, and the plus 1 is equal to 0. Now try to have the solutions for this. So don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel for YouTube to keep on being updated and for every content being created. Thank you.